Fallout 3 first burst into our lives about 13 years ago at the time of this recording. Many people these days debate the value of Fallout 3, but it has always had a special place in my heart. Today, I want to look at the introduction we got and give my take on if it still holds up. After more than 10 years, Fallout 3 certainly shows its age. Still, this Bethesda classic is an enjoyable first step into the 3D world for the franchise. When it comes to the introduction, I have seen many fans divided on whether or not they think it fits. Some say that the Vault 101 bit is tedious, while others praise it for its design aspect. And in this video, I am going to give my thoughts on all of it after all these years. But first, I would like to thank this video's sponsor, Dungeon Fighter Online. Dungeon Fighter Online, or DFO, is a beat-em-up action RPG with a very active community. It also regularly hosts awesome events and has many helpful player bases on Reddit, Discord, and Twitch, where developers often host streams to communicate with the fanbase. Coming August 24th, the demonic Lancer character will get his Neo Awakening. This means we will have access to new and more powerful skills, and of course, an event to help players get some great gear and grind out some levels with the demonic Lancer. This event will give special buffs to make you stronger in dungeons that'll speed up things like attack time, casting, and MP recovery. But even with all that, you will still get things like legendary gear, level up tickets, and exclusive weapon avatars every time you reach a target level. No need to worry about your gear when kicking this party off, because DFO has allowed the rental of some of the most powerful equipment and weapons in the game for this event. And for new players, DFO has you covered with newcomer-friendly events like Bit Infighter. Make sure to redeem this promo code in-game to obtain a silver or gold cape. Just insert Fall 2021 your gift, and you will receive your cape. Jump into Dungeon Fighter Online today and make your beat-em-up fantasies come true. Fallout 3 opens with a close-up on the flickering light of a vacuum tube piece as a pan-out reveals it to be a radio inside of a bus. The radio is playing I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire by the Ink Spots. This haunting old world tune is flushed with reverb and hits perfectly to the tone of the Fallout series. During the tour of the bus, we see various items, and it is revealed that the rig is entirely damaged. Broken windows lead to a scene showing the bus as a hollow shell, split in half, and the decaying ruins of what once was the capital of one of the biggest countries in the world is showcased. This scene is well produced and puts the player in the world expertly. We see a figure in power armor overlooking the destruction. As they turn their head to face us, the screen goes black and we see Fallout 3 appear on the screen, in the same fashion as the title work in the classic games. A great introduction. This bit holds up amazingly, and what follows only sweetens the deal. Series narrator Ron Perlman brings it up a step higher as he introduces us to the game proper.
War. War never changes. Since the dawn of humankind, when our ancestors first discovered the killing power of rock and bone, blood has been spilled in the name of everything from God to justice to simple psychotic rage. In the year 2077, after millennia of armed conflict, the destructive nature of man could sustain itself no longer. The world was plunged into an abyss of nuclear fire and radiation. But it was not, as some had predicted, the end of the world. Instead, the apocalypse was simply the prologue to another bloody chapter of human history. For man had succeeded in destroying the world, but war never changes. In the early days, thousands were spared the horrors of the Holocaust by taking refuge in enormous underground shelters known as vaults. But when they emerged, they had only the hell of the wastes to greet them. All except those in Vault 101. For on that fateful day, when fire rained from the sky, the giant steel door of Vault 101 slid closed and never reopened. It was here you were born. It is here you will die. Because in Vault 101, no one ever enters, and no one ever leaves.
After that terrific lead-in from Ron Perlman, we are born into this world. This was an interesting choice to start the game, in my opinion. You choose your gender, name, and appearance through all of this, and I think it works well. As we finish up, our mother, who just brought us into this world, goes into cardiac arrest, dying as we are rushed out of the room. That's one hell of a first memory. Fallout 3 does this thing where it fades to white to space out time, separating your memories. This works well for when you actually remember things from the start in the vault, giving you a hazy recollection of everything. Our next memory is when we are 1 year old, walking into the playpen to see our dad. It's worth noting that Liam Neeson plays the father in Fallout 3. This is well known, but leaving that out does a disservice to the introduction of the game. Neeson absolutely kills the role of James in Fallout 3, and his talent really drives the Vault 101 introduction. After setting your special stats with the Your Special book, another great way to set up the player character while keeping it in-universe, James will come back into the room and seem proud of the toddler for being so adventurous. James will share your now-deceased mother Catherine's favorite Bible verse, ingraining it into your head for the rest of your life.
See that? It was your mother's favorite passage. It's from the Bible, Revelation 21:6. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. She always loved that. All right, come on. Let's go see if your little friend Amada wants to play.
After Bible study, James will lead us off to play with our friend Amada, and we will get hit with another flash of light. It's now 9 years later, and we are at our 10th birthday party. Interrupting your father's joy is the Vault 101 Overseer. He informs you that at 10 years old, the Vault pretty much considers you an asset and you will be getting your first responsibility orders tomorrow. This comes with a cool Pip-Boy 3000 though, so it's all good. We can talk to Amada, who will be stoked on the fact that she surprised you with this party and gift us a sweet Grognak comic. Issue 14. The task now is to speak to everyone at the party. While it's not required to talk to every single person, it's a fun way the game introduces us to the way NPCs will work. Well, the non-hostile ones anyway. Speaking with the Overseer, we can be talked down to and bullied by the top authority figure in the vault. Pretty par for the course there. Old Lady Palmer is much nicer to talk to, though she almost drops some major spoilers. She will give you the sweet roll, keeping up with Bethesda's meme on the treat and bringing it into Fallout for the first time. The Mr. Handy behind the bar will go to cut the cake now and fail miserably, ruining what was left of the party. This prompts Butch, resident dickhead, to try and take the sweet roll Palmer gave you. If you aren't having it, Butch will attack you like the absolute smooth-brained barbarian he is until it's broken up by Peacekeeper Gomez. We can speak to the rest of the guests as well. Hannon seems genuinely thankful to be invited while Wally Mack doubles down on the negative energy. Stanley will give you the rundown on the Pip-Boy he fixed up for you and gift us a hat. After this, Dad will answer a call on the intercom and send us to meet Jonas for a surprise. On the way there, we will meet Vault Oddball Beatrice. Her birthday present to this 10-year-old is a rather drab and melancholy poem about life inside the vault. We have no time for this foolishness as Jonas is waiting for us in the reactor, so it's off to meet him. The trip to Jonas is the first real look at the vault that we get, and I love how 101 was designed. It gives off the perfect feel for a vault in the Fallout universe. Everything is too calm and too ideal. We are greeted by Jonas with a stern tone. Luckily, he's just playing with us due to the whole birthday thing. Dad comes down, and it turns out the surprise is a BB gun. They even have some targets set up in the next room over. When a rad roach makes its way into the room, the game uses it to teach us about the VAT system. After dispatching the roach, we take a photo with Dad and the flash from the camera acts as the next memory break, and now we are 16 and it's time to take the GOAT. The Generalized Occupational Aptitude Test is how Vault 101 decides the future of the residents, assigning jobs based on a multiple choice personality test. After failing to convince Dad that we're too sick to take it, it's off to class. Outside the classroom, we can see Amada is being hassled by the Tunnel Snakes, a gang Butch and his cronies put together that's based off of greaser culture from the 1950s. After white knighting Amada, it is finally time to take the GOAT. Fallout 3 uses the GOAT to have an in-universe way of picking skills for the player. It's skippable, and you are able to change whatever tags for the character that you have. Still, it is undoubtedly a great way to form a player build, and it perfectly fits into the intro's theme. Once we have our results and we have left the classroom, we are thrown 3 years into the future. Amada is standing over us, breaking the slumber that you can only find in a Vault Tech bed, and she is upset. It turns out Dad has left the vault, and the Overseer's men have killed Jonas because of this. We, of course, are prime suspects in all of this, considering it's our dad and all. The Overseer has preached that in Vault 101, no one ever enters and no one ever leaves. you're born in the vault, and you'll die in the vault. So James leaving like a thief in the night is quite the cause for concern. The vault is understandably in chaos. Something about the way James left has caused an influx of radroaches, which are attacking everything on sight, including Butch's mother. This is where Fallout 3 offers one of its first moral choices. You can choose to help Butch's mom, even though he has been a total dicknose for your entire existence, and by proxy, his mother is to blame for unleashing him onto the world. Or you can leave him to watch her die, since he's too scared of the dark and the roaches to help her himself. We find Gomez amongst the madness, and he lets us go. Apparently the others won't be so friendly, and he is right about that. The guards have taken to shooting residents on sight, especially if you're related to the deserter. We meet Hannon again, and he is a worthy opponent. It seems Mac and the Overseer are interrogating Amata about our whereabouts. If we step inside, Mac will attack on sight, and Amata will flee. Talking with the Overseer, we can get the password to his terminal and the keys to his office. This whole bit is getting you used to the combat in Fallout 3, and once we hit Jonas, we can find a note from Dad, giving us some more insight into what exactly went down and why.
Hold on, Jonas. I need to record this first. I don't really know how to tell you this. I hope you'll understand, but I know you might be angry. I thought about it for a long time, but in the end, I decided it was best for you not to know. So many things could have gone wrong, and there's really no telling how the Overseer will react when he finds out. It's best if he can blame everything on me. Obviously, you already know that I'm gone. It was something I needed to do. You're an adult now. You're ready to be on your own. Maybe someday things will change and we can see each other again. I can't tell you why I left or where I'm going. I don't want you to follow me. God knows life in the vault isn't perfect, but at least you'll be safe. Just knowing that will be enough to keep me going.
Don't mean to rush you, Doc, but I'd feel better if we got this over with.
Okay, go ahead. Goodbye. I love you.
Inside the Overseer's office, we can find some loot and search his terminal for some security info on the residents. We can also learn that people definitely leave the vault despite what the Overseer preaches, and they have made extensive contact with the settlement of Megaton. Turns out society isn't as doomed as Vault Tech has led us to believe. This terminal also controls the escape tunnel under the Overseer's desk. Triggering it, we can make our way to the vault entrance. Once we start opening the door, Amata will show up and share her surprise. While we can ask her to come with us, she won't be interested. As the guards storm the entrance, we can exit the vault for the first time, and the guards will be too scared to follow. After following the long cavern and exiting the door, we see the natural light for the first time. All of the ruins of Washington, D.C. lie in front of us. A scenic overlook indeed. Overall, I think this is a tremendous introduction to a Fallout game. While these days I find the main quest of Fallout 3 to be a bit lacking, looking at the Vault 101 beginning sequence with a critical eye has shown me how charming it is. While repeat players may be wanting to skip this bit, which is why it's good to make a save before hitting that last door, I feel like the introduction in Fallout 3 sets up the game in a great way, teaching players through actions all about how the game works in a unique style we often do not see in games. I can't think of very many games that start with a character at birth. The idealistic existence underground in Vault 101 directly contrasts what the players will see once they are out in the wasteland. Bethesda thinks hard about how to show their game worlds to people to make a lasting first impression. So when exiting the vault, the view we get of the DC area is breathtaking, and it's the perfect culmination to what we just experienced growing up in 101. So I would say, after over a decade, that yes, the introduction to Fallout 3 does still hold up. It has a charm that hasn't been matched, and it sinks its immersion spreading fangs into the player from the start. This is a great way to kick off a Fallout game. Thank you for watching my take on the Fallout 3 introduction, and if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already for more content like this. I want to thank my patrons and YouTube channel members, and a special thanks to my biggest supporters: Ian Raleigh, Eric W., Nomad, Popo Hum, Fireflare, JP Rivera, Daniel Adelano, Thomas, Billy Joe Jimbob, Marcus Jacobstown, Legendary Angel 94, Phil Starsick, and Edgy. Thank you guys so much. I couldn't do it without you. I hope to catch you on the next one. It has been Mantis.
I gotta testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day you die, you gon' touch the sky. You gon' touch the sky, baby girl. Testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day you die, you gon'